Hey guys, today I just wanted to share with you what we've been doing for our human body unit. This unit is very light, just kind of touching the basis of the human body. So we've done 5 senses. We've done the respiratory system and our circulatory system. Digestive system was yesterday, and then today was bones and muscles, and then tomorrow will be our brain and our nervous system. So I'm just going to go over with you the things that we've done and the things that we're going to do. We started on Monday because, like I said, I don't want this to be like super strenuous. I want it to be fun, and then I want them to be learning as we're doing it. So it's very light. Monday, like I said, was the 5 senses. So we used these cards that I got from a thrift store, and it just has what you're talking about, and then on the back it says what system, where it's located, and what function it has. So eyes are the sensory system. It's located on the head, and the function is to convert light waves to nerve signals. And we have looked at the cards to go with each one of these. This has the mouth, the nose, ears, things like that on these. And so we would look at those, and then we would also read our books that go along with it. Let's see. Since this is 12. So we would just go through this book, and this one is a lift the flat book. So we just kind of, the girls actually literally sat on the table while I sat right here with the book in front of me, and we just read through it, and they asked questions, and we talked about things, and it just made for a great discussion. And of course they learned along the way, because everything in here they did not already know. Like the cochlea, they thought that was a funny word, and they liked saying that. That's one of the books that we used. And then we also used the big book of body. This one is not a lift a flat, but it has fold outs. I don't know if this one has, I'm trying to think if this one has, yes, here's the senses in this one. So this one talks about senses as well. But like I said, this one's not a lift a flat. This one is a fold out, but I'll show you that in a second. So we read the part about senses in this book. And then we also traced our bodies on Monday, and we just had a big long piece of paper, and I had them lay down, and we traced their body. And then the paper is too fragile, so my plan was to have them draw whatever system we were talking about each day on the paper, and they're over that way. But the paper was too fragile. It was very thin. It was way thinner than I thought it was, and we didn't have any. We could have done something else, but I wanted to use this paper up. So what we're going to do is wait until Friday, and we're going to add, our lungs and all of that good stuff to our traced body. We're also doing this booklet that I got off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and Noah is doing option 1. It's just a body book, and hers is the option 1. It has the body, and it's got the parts that you're talking about labeled, and then it has like a little paragraph at the bottom, and you just add in these words to the little paragraph. Anaya's, my 10-year-old, I've done her option 3, where it is blank. And so she had to label this and then tell me what the system that we talked about, or what part of the body that we talked about that day does. And this is, I'm trying to see, it's called My Body Systems Book. It goes over muscles, bones and skeleton, brain and nerves, heart and circulatory system, lungs and respiratory, stomach and digestive, kidneys and urine system. But we haven't gotten to all of them yet, but we're only doing the page that we talk about. So far we've done the senses, which this one doesn't have the senses. So we started this on Tuesday, and we've done breathing in the heart. We read the book that I just showed you, the 2 books that I just showed you, and we done our cards. And then for that day, oh, and I forgot to show you this. On Monday when we done senses, I got this little kit at Aldi's, and we made a model of an eyeball. It was a lot brighter than this Monday when we done it. Today is Thursday, and the colors are seeming to fade. But then on Tuesday, we done breathing. So we made a model of lungs, and you just breathe in here. I'm not going to do it. This is Noah's, and this has a little bit of, I think this was probably got a respiratory infection. But, yeah, so we made a model of some lungs, and then the kit that I got that we had the eyeball, we also made a heart, a model of a heart, and here's the paper that come with it. It was a whole kit. I showed it in my Ollie's haul, but I've already threw the box away. But it was this kit right here, and it come with a model of a heart and the eyeball. And we're still actually working on the heart, even though it was from Tuesday. It was so big that it has to dry. So we haven't gotten to paint it yet like we did the eyeball. But that was what we done for the 5 senses. We done the eyeball mold, and then we done like the tasting different things and smelling different things like that. To talk about how our nose and all of our senses work. And then we done breathing and heart on Tuesday. And then yesterday we done the digestive system. And I don't have anything from that except for we done this book that day, Flip Flat Body Book. And it just talks about what is food for. It goes over again what we read in the other 2 books, but just a little bit differently. This one has some little fold outs, what you should eat. So telling you, the basics of what you should eat. Is it yummy? Just talking about how your tongue works and things like that. The spots on your tongue that let you taste different flavors and different salt and sweet or whatever. And then we watched a video on how food digests. We also looked at our cards and talked about our cards, read the backs of those. Read these 2 books that I showed you previously. And then our activity for that day, we done crackers, like saltine crackers in a bag. You're supposed to use like a clear soda, so like Sprite or a Sierra Mist or something like that. Did not have any, so we used vinegar, and it worked just the same. I drew a little stomach on the bag, and they just kind of crunched it up just to kind of see a little bit of what happens to the food once it gets inside of your stomach. I've already thrown those away because we done those on Wednesday, I'm sorry. And like I said, I think I already said, but they watched a video on how everything digests in your stomach. And then today we talked about bones and muscles, and we went back to these 2 books, the Big Book of Body and See Inside Your Body. And this is what I was going to show you earlier. This book is really neat because it actually folds out, so it kind of makes it, a little interactive. But we sat down, like I said, with this book. They actually were sitting on the table with this spread out on here, and we just looked at the body. We read every little tidbit of information that was on this thing. So yeah, they had fun doing that. And we also looked in the See Inside Your Body. We did not do a video today because we were having fun looking at that book, and we also done 2 activities. I cut up some straws that I just got from Dollar Tree and got some Play-Doh. I tried to make sure that they were like tendon color, I guess. I don't know. And then we made models of a body and tried to make them where these were the bones and these were the muscles or the tendons or whatever. And they had fun doing that. What else did we do? Oh, we did this Mr. Human Skeleton. He was so cute. Also got this at Aldi's. I think he was like $10 maybe. I'm not exactly sure. He is actually right there. That's where he's going to sit. It came with a little stand, and just keep this in mind. I've got it right here so I can show you. It did not hold him. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but he was entirely too heavy for this. So I thought about like somehow making this weighted and then gluing this in here so he can sit up somewhere in here. But for right now, he's chilling right there. So that's what we did for today. And let's see, tomorrow is brain and like nervous system, and I actually haven't even found an activity for that yet. Shame on me, I'm supposed to have all of this done before before I get it all together, but I just could not find anything, and I wanted to go ahead and start this. So what we'll probably do is just read our books again, the same ones that I showed you, and then oh, here, and look at our cards, because this has several different cards, and it has stuff on the back of them to read and all of that. And then we're going to add everything to our little drawings that we've done. So they'll have like a life-sized skeleton or body, human body, because it's not just going to be a skeleton. There'll be tendons, and we'll draw his brain in there and his lungs and all of that stuff. I also have a few more books that we have not gotten to. Bones and Skeleton book. I got this at a thrift store, I believe, and somebody had went ahead and put this on there for people that that would mind that kind of thing. It says, warning, the last few pages of this book contain some anti-creation statements. We haven't gotten to this book. If I read something, or if I scanned over it or read it myself before I read it to them, I would just correct it. I would just, tell them, that's not right, or that's not how we believe, or whatever. But I haven't gotten to this one. We were supposed, like I said, to do it today, but we just didn't get to it. We were having too much fun making our Play-Doh and straw models, and then making Mr. Skeleton up there. And then these two books are called Grossology books. We were supposed to get to these, but we did not. One of these my daughter done in our co-op, which was this one, and then I just so happened to find this one at a thrift store, and it's basically just like a science curriculum. Like you can definitely use this as a curriculum, and we may go back and just do this Grossology as a separate curriculum, and just talk about all the functions of your body. And that's why we haven't really gotten to this, because we've done the digestive system, but we didn't go into too much depth about like sweat and this calls it barf, boogers, poop, diarrhea, pee, spit and saliva, snot, earwax, zits, blisters, and the list goes on. But my daughter done this in our co-op class, and they loved it, because what you do is you talk about these things, and then at the end of whatever you're reading about, they would make it, but it was edible. So it's super gross, but they loved it, and they learned a lot. And so this is the next book to that. So I have this in here, or I had this set aside with the human body unit, but we did not get to it. So like I said, we may just do that as a separate unit study, kind of doing the functions of the body or whatever. And then this one we haven't gotten to, but they have sat down and looked at it. It's the Lift the Flap questions and answers about your body. And let's see, find one. It just says how does medicine make me better, which we don't do a whole lot of medicine. Why do people wear glasses? Why do we cry? Why do I look pale when I'm sick? Just different things like that. So like I said, they've sat down and they've looked at this book, but we did not, we haven't used it actually in our unit study. But I have the shelf over here with all of the books that go with our unit. So they can just pick one of those, and anything that they pick from that shelf is going to coincide with what we're doing for our unit study. And even over here on our chalkboard wall, I'll put a picture in at the end of our little chalkboard wall. I'm sure that it's not the best chalkboard wall that there ever was, but it's cute. I like it. We've been enjoying it. The girls think our little skeleton man up there is cute. But that's all that we've done. I'm trying to make sure I've covered everything, because like I said, we're not even done. We still have tomorrow to go. So they'll continue to do their little book tomorrow, or they'll finish their book tomorrow, and then we'll finish our body traced out, our traced body that we done. So that's basically our human body unit. Very light, very fun. Just basically learning through play and just reading some. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave them below and I will answer them for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.